Welcome back to another episode of the Live Your Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Joe Gawalis, alongside my fantastic co-host,
Victor.
Chris. I am telling you, I am incredibly excited today. Very rarely do you have on an individual whose life revolves around joy, positivity, making changes, and what she did by building essentially an empire that is making a positive impact on the world.
It's not an empire yet.
Well, no, you are very, very close
It's a dream, though.
Welcome, Karen Robinovitz from the Sloomoo Institute. Everybody, Karen, thank you so much for coming on board.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Are you kidding me? Your story is inspiring. What you took in your life and turned it into is if everybody in the world can do something like this, the world will be a happier place.
Thank you. Thank you.
What motivates you from the start? Because what you took, slime, turned it into something amazing. I mean, that's it's incredible. Really, it's huge. Sensory, everything you're doing is fantastic. What motivated you to start this?
So I think I'm like, which way? Who am I looking at? Okay. So I think for me to share that, you have to hear what I went through.
Please do.
Because this came from a very, very personal place. Okay. I have been very entrepreneurial my whole life. I've really worked for myself since I think probably 1997. Right. And I am a go, do kind of person. I don't always really stop to check in with myself to see how am I really doing and how am I really feeling. And about 7 years ago, my entire life completely blew up and fell apart. And I had been at that time married for 14 years. And my husband was a very strong Italian man. And I'm sure neither of you can relate. And I knew he was dealing with a lot of mental health challenges and some depression, but he was fine, right? He had it. And our marriage really started to disintegrate. And we took time apart. And within a few months of that time apart, he passed away. And I really look at it as he lost a battle to mental health. And I never knew it was at that level. And I also, truthfully, I normally don't even share this in the media, but I don't know if his passing was on purpose or not. I will never know. And I had a massive, enormous, seismic nervous breakdown. And I mean, truly, I was really all but hospitalized. I've chilled all over my body right now. I really fell apart, and I looked at everything around me, and I was realizing how grossly unhappy I was in my own life. My marriage hadn't been going well. I wasn't able to have a child. I built a company that, again, on the outside, it was incredibly awesome and successful, but I was not fulfilled. And I also really looked around and didn't really feel like I had that many true friends. I think that everybody really wanted something from me because I was somebody who loved doing things for other people. And I stepped away from my company and I just literally let myself fall apart and went through months of this. I mean, 2 years of this. And about 9 months after losing him, I lost my cousin, who at the time was 14. Again, I have chills all over my body. I did not think one person could handle this much grief and pain, and I became suicidal. And I truly used to go to bed at night and think, how do I end this without ending it? Because I don't want to hurt other people, but I don't want to live. And maybe I can I get cancer? And one day my friend came by. She happened to bring her 10-year-old with her. Her daughter happened to have slime with her. And I said, oh, Maddie, I want to see your slime. I grew up with it in the 70s when it came in a garbage can by the town. You guys remember that, right? Had eyeballs and worms. And I sat on the floor with Maddie to play with her slime. And then all of a sudden my friend Melissa and her husband Mike were like, well, we have to go. And I said, you just got here. They were like, you've been playing with our daughter for 4 hours. Wow. I mean, in this 4 hours, I reconnected with I know it sounds really, really cheesy, but with my soul. I was me at 7.
Yes.
I was me before life ever got complicated.
Yes.
To the point where we were drizzling slime off the roof of my building. We were being cuckoo. And I was like, I didn't think about my pain for 4 hours. This is magic because nothing. I have not gone through one day in almost 2 years without crying. So where do I get more? So I became what is known lovingly as #adult slimer. I started buying slime from kids all over the internet. I started to get excited for my packages. I started to get excited to open them. I started a secret Instagram account to open my slime. And then I started to bring slime to my friend named Sarah. Sarah, about a year or two before I went through my series of tragedies, she went through some really difficult times as well. Her husband, who was an enormous overachiever and a TED talker and, a real baller in business and the marketing and film distribution, in music, in anything around social and digital, he woke up at the age of 50 and had bilateral strokes. And it caused a brain injury. And now he is unable to do any activities of daily living on his own. So he can't tie his shoe. He can't feed himself. He can't go to the bathroom on his own. He doesn't change himself. And they have a daughter with a very rare genetic syndrome called Angelman syndrome. Now, the beauty of Angelman syndrome is that a side effect is happiness. So this person, her name is Sammy, she's now 16, is a ray of sunshine, and she loves dancing, and she's joyful, and she laughs a lot, but she has a lot of limitations and can't do any activities of daily living either, and she's nonverbal, so she can't speak. And Mark, Sarah's husband, also is nonverbal now. And Sarah was like, in one way, I have lost my husband, and her stress was very, very high. Well, at the time her husband had a stroke, she also had a neurotypical 3-year-old who really doesn't have any memory of her father speaking. And so I said, Sarah, I've got to come bring you some slime. And we were at the time in our late 40s. So I brought her slime, and we had the same experience. We sat down on the floor. We were like laughing and giggling and playing. And then we were watching her 2 daughters, and to see the commonality of the way they played together, it was so incredible. And we were like, this is an activity her 2 daughters, who were one of whom can't speak, one of whom was very young, but they could play. And they shared that language of play that you have as a child. And we started these weekly slime dates. And then I was like, we have to bring this to people. My inspiration started to come back. My creativity started to come back. We both thought other people can experience this magic. And it's really amazing for people who are sensory oriented or who are neurodiverse or physically diverse to experience, whether it's touch, sound, sight, scent, the way things look when you're playing with them. I mean, you're touching 4 of your 5 senses at the same time. When you're doing that, it's really hard for your brain to go into like all the stories we tell ourselves. Whatever your financial stress is, your life stress, kid stress, family stress, it's a lot. This is escape.
Yes.
So we're kind of go big or go home. We were like, let's go get a space in Soho. I'm like, let's go get an operating agreement. Let's get our guy to do the branding. And a year later, we opened 12,000 square feet in Soho. Nice. We're now 4.5 years later. We're opening our 5th location in LA this summer. And it's not just about slime. It is really about getting both hands in. Somewhere along the way in the journey of our experiences, you wind up putting your phone away, and you're back in the roots of like this old school version of analog, touching and feeling and seeing and sharing and connecting. And we give back to mental health. We have a workforce where we look to hire adults who are somewhere on the spectrum of autism or who might have other just versions of diversity, which to us feels like a really important thing. It's about connecting and having other visions of the world and realizing not everybody processes the same and creating a place where everyone is welcome.
Well, the one thing
I know I just talked so much.
It was phenomenally said. Phenomenally said.
Things like people can identify finally, because I wish I had this when I went through problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone has problems in life. Everyone can identify with this. You telling your story, giving people the ability to do the same, to share their experiences, to open up to see what's possible there as a form of therapy. This is amazing.
And I think we both tell our story because I'm not, this is a dime, not to minimize it, but it's a dime a dozen in that we're all going to go through tragedy.
Oh, yeah.
We're all going to experience loss. We all go through moments of, whether it's us or someone we're close to, of like mental health challenges. I think there's so much difficulty out there.
Yes.
And when you're really being honest with who you are or who someone is, it's hard.
Oh, are you kidding me? It's very hard. A small example. You know, we're very good friends. We all believe you saw the vibe kind of when you walked into the room years ago.
Everybody was hugging. It was
Oh
amazing.
yeah, you know, years ago I showed him my childhood home when I was a kid, and one of these members actually here was my childhood friend, and he saw things we used to play with in our youth. And he goes, "It brought me so much joy to see how you two used to be." People lose touch of themselves because we're all so busy. One of the questions I always ask guests that come on, it doesn't matter what you've accomplished, is, well, how do you take time for you? People, like you said, don't take time to recharge their mental battery, to get in touch with their childhood self, and they just keep going deeper and deeper, and then you kind of lose touch, and then you're gone at that point.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
And for now, my career and what I'm doing is really built around how do you give people joy and play?
Yes.
How do you do things that make them get in touch with that silly side? So the way we got our name, Sloomoo Institute, came from a really funny trend that happened in 2017. People were saying, replace the vowels of your name with OO. That's your slime name. So I'm Karoon. Karoon can be sillier than Karen, right? I could go in and be like, "Ah," like I could just let loose. That's true. Because I'm not me anymore. I've kind of changed my identity when I'm in the space of Sloomoo. And slime became Sloomoo. And when we heard that, we were like, that's it, because our space goes beyond slime.
Yes.
It's about the senses and there's other things to do, but it's literally just about being that other side of yourself that we all have.
Every 100%. I don't care who you are in industry, in life. You can be the toughest guy wandering the world or the most extreme businessman. Everybody has it.
Wait, I want to hold the mic for you two so you can get out some of the slime I brought.
Oh, okay. Let's see some of it.
Right? So there's different textures of slime. That's an icy slime.
Okay, let's check this out.
They make Italian ices.
Oh,
And it's called Mega Shark
and
Bite.
there are little sharks in there too. Look how cute. Look at that.
Look at those sharks.
It's really making me smile.
Smell it.
Oh, wow, it smells delicious.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Sherbet, right?
Yeah.
And now just kind of get in there.
Get in there.
No, I don't want to interrupt the sharks as they play.
No, you
It's
get-
just-
you can take the sharks
he's getting into it.
out.
I'll take the shark out.
For later, the back of the sharks have a QR code, and you can get an augmented reality character.
Fantastic.
Wow,
Well,
you
make
like
the shark come out of the water.
Yes,
Ray, let's hold
yeah.
that up so they can even zoom in and hit that right there.
Yeah.
Later we'll do that in post. Everybody can see that.
The slime
But
right now.
I'm giving you back the mic.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
What I want to do is demonstrate some really,
Please.
really
Awesome.
fun slime, like play, where it's like the more I stretch it, you're going to see the
like
colors change.
Yeah.
And you can hear it.
I was going to ask you that. So you have these 5 senses, but we're using 4. Can you ever make an edible slime?
We can.
Going forward?
Do you hear that? The reason
Yes.
I personally don't want to have edible slime in our space is because I don't want to confuse anybody and have them eat the wrong slime. Yeah, but if you just keep stretching it like this, and
It's like a workout.
Look at that. No, yeah. It's a soothing
Here.
sound. I can't
get
wait.
it.
Yes, please.
and there's more. The smaller ones are a different texture.
Okay.
And there's all different ways to play, and slime gets sticky over time. So one of the reasons parents hate it is because it can get
Lemon.
right.
Yeah.
It can get sticky over time and with heat. So they don't like the mess. But you could use this as a way to teach your kids responsibility. Check in on your
This is
slime.
better than those stress balls.
It's better than a
Yeah.
stress ball. Check in on your slime regularly. Is it sticky? It is. I brought you activator spray. It's over there. You spray the slime when it's sticky. It makes it unsticky. Think of it like anti-Asian cream or pet food.
Yeah.
And if you get it on your clothes, the carpet, etc., it comes out with white vinegar. So there is a way that you can have slime and prevent a mess.
It prevents a mess.
Yeah.
You know, literally, I'm
Can
bringing
let me
back.
show you. Wait, I'm giving you 2 mics. Look, when you spread this one out, it's like a web. Do you see?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, hold that up in the middle.
Look at this. Look at that.
That's
Hold it,
awesome.
like-
Oh, that's it.
like-
Oh, my God. This is perfect for Halloween, too. They little spider web. With the colors, yeah.
Well, but it will fall. But like this slime is called cloud slime, and the more you play with it, the fluffier it gets. This is you have to put in your 10,000 hours basically
To get
to get to the exact right
Yes.
like way. Do you see how I'm flipping
That's
it?
amazing.
It's
yeah,
very-
yeah. No, that's fantastic.
But when I drizzle it, it falls kind of like
Oh yeah, look at that.
like soft serve ice cream,
So serious?
Wow, look at exactly what it looks like. Yeah,
right? Feel this one. It's totally
I can't
different.
wait.
Up.
You're absolutely right. I'll feel this one.
Oh wow, it is different.
Yeah.
Right?
Lovely texture. Yeah.
This one has like a fake snow in it, and sometimes
feels like it.
you know, get in your hands a little. You wash them after, but this is when you're stressed at your desk.
Are you kidding?
Take out some
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like.
I'm like, do you want me to take this and you get it with both hands?
Put one in my pocket right now.
It reminds me like a lemon drop
Yeah.
smell too.
Well,
right?
you're gonna take them home. You're gonna take them
Oh,
home.
great, fantastic.
Oh, it's great. Are you kidding me? This is great. Our cameraman
You're gonna
loves,
take one
loves the
home.
play.
Gene's gonna take one home.
That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Of course, of course.
This is beautiful. It must bring you so much joy when you see people using this and they forget about everything
living.
going on in the. Look at you holding this now. I love it. No, you're interviewing me. It's that good where you literally the feeling is fantastic. You feel like you're going back in time and nothing else. Literally,
Yeah.
it's funny because now we're doing an interview at South by Southwest. Our coordinator's literally going like, guys, there's other interviews, not even us,
know.
other people that need to get
In
this
the
room,
room.
and we're all playing.
We're playing.
We don't care.
We don't care.
They can wait.
matters.
We're playing. It
I
doesn't-
mean, we'll have people stay in our space for some, like, I would say the average experience is about 90 minutes.
yes,
We've had people stay for hours
this is fantastic.
because you can't stop with all
It's
the
kind of
pictures.
refreshing. It feels like my hair's even cleaner now.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Use it in
It
the
does.
shower.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there is a natural detergent in there, and there's lotion, so it
Oh,
also
that's
softens
yes.
your hands.
That's all. It feels soft. Now, before we have to get going, you are right now understanding social media more than most people in the world. You have such a presence on there. Where can people find you? But again, how did you get into that whole social media loop? You said it about the trends and everything. I can't wait to hear a little bit about that.
So my background going way, way back to the mid-90s is as a journalist
Yes.
when it was all about print. And I was a journalist for about 10 to 12-ish years. And along the way, I started to feel, that my skill set was really, truly as a marketer. And in the early 2000s, I started to believe that the pulse would move into digital and everything would be around peer-to-peer sharing and people would start to be their own news outlets and develop their own audiences. And it wouldn't be about the traditional way we were used to seeing things. So I segued into what we now call social media. There weren't that many things that existed back then, but I was a big proponent of it. And I was bringing that to brands and started consulting for brands from Coach to Tiffany to Tory Burch to Estee Lauder companies. And because a lot of my background was in fashion and beauty, and then I started to really pay attention and see the beginning phases of influencers. This is pre-Instagram. This is pre-YouTube being the size that it is. It was like Twitter was not even in existence yet. And I said, this is going MySpace. I said, this is going to be the equivalent of television killed the radio star. This is going to trump everything. And I started to reach out to a lot of people who were much, 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 much younger than me and to say, I want to introduce you to the brand I'm working with. I think they should work with you in a campaign, but I think they should pay you. And this is why they should pay you. And they were like, can you talk to my mom? And then before I knew it, I started the first talent management agency to represent them. And that's what I was doing when everything in my life sort of started to disintegrate. And I think what really happened is it became so big, and what I was missing the most, and as my company grew, was I was very heavily more kind of leading a business versus like scouting talent and cultivating them and developing them and helping them hone their voices and then saying, how do we make this happen for you? Oh, you want to do this, this, and this, and this, and this is how you build that block so you can get there. And when you do this and this, I'm going to bring the examples to this brand and we're going to try to work around like this. And then once you do that, I can take you to the next brand. And then one day you're starting your own brand. Like I started to do less of what I loved. And P.S., in a weird way, I couldn't do anything I'm doing now without having all of those experiences.
It goes back to that saying, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
And when I was 7, I was a Slimer.
There is no better way to put it than that. Literally, you are a ray of energy.
Thank you.
You are a phenomenal human being. We have to do this again sometime.
I would love it.
We would love to stop
Where
by
are
a
you
store.
based?
We're based out of New York, so we
Okay,
have
so
to.
you'll come to the New York space.
Yes, we have to do that. We will definitely come down. We'll bring the group down there.
Yes.
We'll have a whole thing. We'll do a whole episode
We
down
should do
there.
the whole episode in the lake.
No,
of
we-
slime.
I would love it.
In the
Yes.
slime lake.
Let's do it.
While you're getting slime.
slimy.
Let's do it.
not?
This will be so much fun. Everybody's going to see you back on the show. Karen, you are phenomenal.
Thank you so much for having
because
me.
you are.
two are so fun.
Oh, thank you. Really, you're bringing joy over. Let's hold this up one more time, Chris, for everybody to see out there. Please check it out online. Any quick hashtags, websites anybody can go to?
At Sloomoo Institute, SLOOMOO Institute on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc.
You heard it at Sloomoo Institute, everybody. This is fantastic. I'm telling you, you will have joy in your life. Everybody that's watching is saying, that's not for me. Try it. It will be 100%. I guarantee you. You're going to fall in love with this and go back to your childhood. Karen, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so
are
much.
I'm already
fantastic.
happier.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're fantastic.